You guys are so humble, yet you're so well known in the industry and you have so much traffic and distribution and whatnot that I thought this is like a Ferrari with a flat tire. Kim, you did a fantastic job in preparing for this meeting. So massive kudos to you. This is a really good sign because most people, they don't do these basics and this causes them to get stuck and things take longer and all that. But you went through the strategy assessment.
Debbie did that, but thank you. Yes.
Okay. You can take credit for Debbie then.
Debbie did good. Yep.
Yeah. And you also gave us access to your analytics and you even set up GA4, which is great. You do have multiple accounts and properties, which is fine. So we can talk about what some of this means. And, you and Todd, as it relates to truth concepts, and then the info products that you have that's tied to your brand, Kim.
Right.
This book you have that at 108 pages and a good number of reviews is number 12 in life insurance. But of course, we'd rather be number 1 in life insurance.
Yes, right? We would.
And you have a lot of content on YouTube through your podcast or not even, some of it's on YouTube more recently, but a lot of it hasn't been repurposed into other kinds of content like we talked about.
Correct.
And a lot of your pixels are missing, like we talked about at dinner a few nights ago.
Yep.
So if Debbie, you're the operator here, you're Miss Get Everything Done marketing task, magic tactical person, execution person.
That would be me, yes.
Okay, good. So let's go over to, which one do you want to start with? Because ultimately, we want to help people with and make commissions off of whole life, but there's lots of other goals that you have too. So what would you like to start with?
So I love what you picked up on the Live Your Life Insurance book, because as you know, I have like 7 or 8 other books on Amazon and they all need help. And I would love to stay focused on prosperity thinkers. And then maybe we could do another meeting for truth concepts and I'll feed you the same kind of stuff that we worked on. I know Debbie's already gotten a lot of it for you, but
okay, good.
Does that work for you?
Yes. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Kim, because you basically have like 5 businesses as far as I can tell. And even though they're all related around like you and Todd being experts in managing money and overcoming fear and not paying too much in taxes and all those kinds, kind of like Caleb. I think you guys are like the more elder statespeople compared to Caleb, right? Caleb was like the younger version of what you guys are. Kind of, I think like what he told us, right? Because, you mentored him and that's what mentors do is you take on the mentees take on a lot of the qualities that you have, which is good, right? The absorption.
Yes.
So let's start with prosperity thinkers and then go to the kind of SaaS software side of truth concepts next.
Beautiful. Yes, because I'm exactly like Caleb. Todd is all software.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. It's almost like left brain, right brain.
Yeah, very true.
Okay. So I think we had just started to look at this, but we didn't really go into much detail on your SEO, or you maybe said, I think I showed you a few things and you said something like, oh, this is not your thing, all the sort of like data and whatnot. So I'm glad that Debbie is here.
Me too. And just so you keep the players straight, Debbie and I both work with an agency who's run by a man named Austin. And I told him I would share the Zoom recording. Okay. He has also looked at the material and was like, yep, Debbie can do all that. So he tries to kind of stay high level and we're all super open-minded for what you recommend as the next step.
Okay, good. So I can't wait to see his name is Austin, but he's not from Austin.
This is correct. He lives in Massachusetts, I think.
Okay.
New Hampshire, somewhere up there.
All right. All that East Coast stuff's the same up there. Okay.
It is.
Okay. So this a lot of this will be for him, but from a tactical standpoint or to oversee it. But I want you, Kim, from a business strategy standpoint to understand the bigger picture and how all these pieces fit together. Okay.
Yes, I do too.
If there's anything like techno geek or I start not speaking English, you can just smack me and I'll return to English.
It's a deal. And Debbie will understand you. So we'll be fine.
Okay, good. And as long as Debbie understands, then it really doesn't matter. So we're good. Yeah. Okay. So DR is only one of many metrics, but it's just a general sense of the power of these 3,100 links you have from these 600 referring domains, right? And relative to the 12,000 keywords that you have, this is relatively low, surprisingly, which tells me that the reason why you're ranking on these terms is because a lot of them are lower competition. These keyword difficulties are low. Obviously, you better rank on your own name. And also this is the really good sign. This is like the glass is half full thing. The content you have drives high engagement, which we'll look at in a moment in your Google Analytics, where I'll prove to you that that's the case. Okay. SEO is not this magical secret witchcraft algorithm, have to kill you, tell you CIA spy kind of thing. It's really, from my standpoint, as a search engine engineer from a long time ago, I'm looking to see what happens when people come in and they click on, what do you do when you get a large sum of money? And what about Dave Ramsey? And, I know the whole life people love to argue with Dave Ramsey, right? Caleb was good. That's his most popular video, actually. That
I'm not surprised.
I mean, it's just so easy to put the side by side and, anyway. And so all these things about money and life insurance and Dave Ramsey, this, and some of our, like Hutch, I think ranks number 2 on infinite banking, behind the father of infinite banking.
Right.
And so there's all these different terms and some of them are kind of more difficult, but not, and we're not getting much traffic, but they're not really related. They're more like so top of funnel. It's establishing you as an expert at the beginning of a conversation that later ties into life insurance and the meaning of my life and what I'm going to do with my kids and investment and that sort of thing, which is natural in a conversation, right? Which is why you have these things. It certainly makes sense that you have these here. So
okay.
if I look at your GA4, I see that almost all your traffic is SEO. And there's an opportunity for ads, especially local service ads, right? LSA is, I think, even though LSA is technically ads because you're paying for it, us that do this as for a living believe LSA is really kind of a tag along to organic.
Okay.
So if your GMB, which is now called GBP, Google Business Profile, the Google My Business, it's still GMB as far as all of us are concerned. I don't care. I mean, Google they're now Alphabet. It's still Google. So as far as the GMB is concerned, I think LSA would be great for you from a client acquisition standpoint. And for anyone who's local services, lawyers, plumbers, real estate agents, local service ads are fantastic. And financial advice is a category.
Can I stop you on that though? We live in a town of 457 people.
It's not only for local.
Okay, good. Local means absolutely nothing to me. So as long as it's not literally local, I'm in.
Yeah. And then if you don't have a physical office, that's okay. Those are called local service area businesses. So there's a lot of locksmiths that service people that they don't have an office, but they just send their vans around and do their kind of thing. And so one of the little hidden tricks, and I've interviewed other people at Google about this, is that we can create, there's a certain point where you turn it into spam. I'm not advocating that, but we should create GMBs for all of our businesses, even if we're not serving people in our town.
Got it.
It does help. It's not a magical elixir that does everything, but it's like one additional signal to send to Google. Right? Okay. I don't know if I saw it, but did you add us to your Search Console?
I don't know. Debbie, do you know?
I don't think I did that. Actually, I missed that. I can do that tonight though.
Oh, it's not a big deal. I'm not trying to pin you on anything like that.
Oh, right.
I'll like her regardless, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're not here to put you on trial or anything.
Oh, no worries.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay. So if we were to look at all these terms that are very informational because of the nature of what you're putting out here, is there one money term that you'd really like? Probably not Dave Ramsey's an idiot, but probably something around life insurance, maybe?
Absolutely. Life insurance. And I love the word prosperity.
Okay. But not the prosperity gospel, other kinds of prosperity.
Correct.
Okay. We know all about that. Okay. So, oops. Dang it. I'm going to close this thing. It keeps doing it. No. I thought I said no. No. Wait. I need to go back to this other thing. I thought I said no to it, but I accidentally clicked.
While you're digging, so the Google My Business we have, but we need to do more with it. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm going to filter on partial match on life insurance. Okay. That takes it down to 2,000 some.
Okay.
Now, these are pretty good. Of course, they're higher difficulty because they're more commercial driven kinds of terms. If we sort by what is the highest volume, and by the way, these SEO tools are all estimates. It's not exact, right?
Got it.
The whole point is analysis is supposed to be just to be able to make a decision. It's not accounting where, numbers have to tie and, that's FINRA, FASB kinds of stuff.
Right.
So this one seems pretty good. Life insurance for seniors. If someone's typing that in, I think we want to be there. And it would cost us $5.78 per click on average to buy that. And we're position 73, which is really far down. So we get none of that. And all this discussion about Dave Ramsey, which I'm not sure if that really helps or hurts us because, Dave has the polar opposite position, but maybe this is a great way to enter that conversation. But, sometimes if people are a certain way, you're not going to change their mind. So,
right.
Right. And this one I think is very good. Life insurance is an investment. This means that they're already open to the idea that it's not just life insurance, but it's actually the everything above that is an investment vehicle and you're your own bank and that whole thing. Right.
Right.
And all of these ones seem like borrowing against life insurance. That sounds like we want to be there. Like, oh, these people they sort of are aware that life insurance is a secret investment vehicle.
Right.
But when I look at this, we only have for the SERP features, SERP stands for search engine results page, right?
Okay.
But we're only showing 2 or 3 of these.
Right.
Oh, we actually are running an ad here. Okay.
I have no idea how we're running an ad. I don't think I've ever ran an ad.
No, someone's running an ad and or maybe did run an ad before. Oh, you know what? You did run an ad a year ago, maybe. Somehow
Okay.
it's not there anymore. You can see it's lost.
Yeah. I've maybe somebody has played in this space, but neither Todd or I have, to my knowledge, ever done serious or even not serious ad work at all.
Okay. So some of these are, so the ideal kind of way to pick where we want to put our efforts for SEO is the keyword has to have high relevancy for us, meaning like it's something that we really want to be a part of that conversation. It has a lot of people talking about it. It's not as difficult. And we're already within striking distance, meaning that we're like position 10 to 20. Yep. Not all of those are true, but it's like the best mix of all those attributes is kind of like how we determine where should we try to, where do we spend our ammo basically, right?
Yep.
So I think like this one, how does whole life insurance work? That sounds like someone who's very interested. I mean, they're not skeptical. They don't even know who to talk to. They just need to see something. And we only have a couple SERP features here. And by the way, there's no video in any of these.
Yeah.
This is so low. And the social media components are not there either, as you know, and we don't have any traffic through social, as you know, right? Because you're not repurposing, not because you and Todd or whatever are not singing and dancing. I mean, that's not what social media is. The social media is just repurposing your expertise, right?
Got it.
So this one's in position 15. So this is something that I think we really could move up.
I would love that.
That was another one I saw was 18. What was the one I was looking at before? But anyway, some of these are like, we could move these up quite a bit. And this one is a good one too, right? It's not difficult. 2,500 people a month are looking for it. We only have one SERP feature. And the people also ask, which is, you understand what the people also ask is, right? Where that is and why that's important. Okay. So if we go to the actual search, isn't that funny that like literally the best way to do SEO is to actually do the search. So this is the SERP result for how soon can I borrow from my life insurance policy? Now, how many times have you answered that question, Kim?
3-4 times a day.
So would you have any sort of issue with making 1-minute videos answering some of these top questions?
Happy to do it.
Would it take you any time at all? I'm asking kind of rhetorically to take these different things that we want to rank for, and you just go ahead and make a 1-minute video against just answering these things. Let's say there's 100 of them, which is like a lot, right? We took 100, Debbie does her digging and goes through all this and says, you know what, I looked at all the PAA and I looked at these keywords and I looked at, how competitive they are and kind of where the ROI is and all that. And, I came up with 100 videos for you, 100 questions for you, Kim, to make a 1-minute video answer. How long do you think it would take you to answer that?
Well, if somebody didn't mind editing, whether it was Debbie or somebody, I literally could turn that camera on and do that in 100 minutes. And I literally would sit there for the 90 plus minutes that it took and do question, answer. And then we can just chop it all up.
And then, even if you're with Jacob and you need to stop and take a break and make a snack, or you need to pee or whatever, maybe it takes you 200 minutes, right? Maybe you start in the morning and then you go out and play golf or whatever. And then later you come back and you film. Like, you could easily get this done within a couple of days without having to hurry or rush or anything like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when I look at these, this is like so obvious. I'm just going to tell you. So let's just say, like, how much can I borrow from my life insurance policy? Okay. We moved up from 71 to 49. So good job, Debbie, or whatever you were doing to move up. Okay. And then this is the URL that is helping us here. And by the way, do you see up here all these other URLs?
Yes.
These are all the same URL. So you're trying to make one web page do the work for all of these queries, which isn't really fair to have one page try to carry all this. These need to be separate web pages. So this is like a 101 rule in SEO. Each web page needs to carry the weight itself.
Got it.
Okay. Because then it's easier for Google to say, oh, okay, yeah, this one's this one. And then they link together in a certain way, and that whole thing. So that would just make it easy for Google, which is making it easy for the user. So let's look at your answer on how can I borrow from my life insurance policy? And this is one we're trying to move up a little bit. We want to pass more juice to it. We want to make sure there's a video so that we can show up with the video instead of just PAA or just an ad, or just, like, you understand, like with certain features, we want to show up many different ways in Google, right?
Understood.
Okay. So here you have a link back to a related article, borrow cash value withdrawal. You have a generic stock art thing. I don't ever recommend doing stock art for many reasons. I even wrote an article. I'm so passionate about stock art. I even wrote an article why you should never use stock art.
Wow. Okay.
And I explain why. Okay. Because it's not real, basically. And I put it on a site that's super powerful. This is DR77. So that's like my way of saying, if you don't believe me, then, here's why. Okay. Yeah. So this is the page that is starting to rank on this, how much can I borrow, or when can I borrow, or what, we saw that, right? In fact, this one page is trying to do the work, is trying to carry like 20 different queries, which is just not, if the queries are the same, you can, but you can see those queries are not exactly the same. Some of them are. Okay. Now you have just a decent article sort of format. So it's good information for people like me who are 50-ish and want to read.
Right.
People under 50, maybe they prefer to watch a video, maybe we need to repurpose this into a TikTok and Instagram or whatever. And so when you make these videos, Debbie, or Kim, because she's the face.
Yeah.
That video, as we talked about in Denver, lives independently of Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and all that, because it gets repurposed, right?
Right.
So we're clear on this idea that, Kim, you are in box number 1, the purple. You're producing these 1-minute videos, right?
Yes.
Then it gets processed through, ideally, a VA that Debbie has working full-time for her at $3 an hour, or maybe $5 an hour, depending on how good they are and how generous you want to be. And then because they can process it, they can repurpose it to live on all these other channels.
Yep.
So you don't have to be on all these other social media channels and like do whatever the silly thing is you need to do on each social network. You literally just answer these questions that we know Google told us is important. And then it gets processed because, every channel, like Twitter, and, there's different formats. So that's what the processing is.
Right.
Okay. Not making content just for YouTube or content just for the podcast or there's no make content for single channel. That was like 10 years ago. Okay.
Got it.
And the social media consultants will argue with me on this point because they have a vested interest in trying to make it complicated. But people like us who are here for business, we are here to drive leads. We are here to grow a business. We're not here to be TikTok stars or going viral or anything like that. So we have our expertise, and it just needs to live everywhere. And then we dollar a day it once it lives there. But if it doesn't live on YouTube, we can't YouTube dollar a day it. If it doesn't live on Facebook, we can't dollar a day it. So the more channels we can publish to, the more opportunities we have to dollar a day on it, right?
Okay. Literally that
simple. So that's why I think your in-house agency and or Debbie and or some VAs you hire should be able to do this. Because it's not like your information here, Kim, isn't good, right? What do I know? I'm not certified. I don't know anything about life insurance except what Caleb has explained to me many different times, and I still don't understand. He's flown and stayed with me like 6 times. We've made videos together.
That's fun.
He's so good at explaining these things. Just incredible. And he tells stories too. And probably because he learned from you and taught. So all of these pages here are missing embedded content in terms of images and video.
Okay.
And you understand how to determine what those questions are.
Yes. As long as Debbie knows how to get me to that page right there.
So let's say, can you borrow against, I'm going to tell you how easy. And by the way, Debbie, if you want access to any of the tools we have, happy to give you access. Because if you were to buy them yourself, it might cost you a few $1,000s. We have some benefits. Okay, so here, right? Can you borrow against life insurance? There's some ads. And then, there's some people also ask here. Probably should answer these questions too, shouldn't you?
Right. Oh, I would love to do that. But what happens after that is horribly overwhelming to me. So, so this is where I need the help.
Now did you see the 4 stages here?
Yep.
You, Kim, you stay in stage 1.
Yep.
Do not meddle in stages 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Miss Debbie manages the whole factory, especially stages 2, 3, and 4, because the last thing we need is for you to wander around and cause problems in 2, 3. And the same for me. Like, I should not be messing around. Like, I think like I'm a know-it-all and I'm going to try to show everybody, and I'll wander into Descript and I sort of know what I'm doing enough to cause a problem. And then the VAs have to come and fix what I did, So and there's training at the whole thing. And we can invite your agency and Debbie and you, Kim, to all the training that we have. We have so many courses. We even have a course on how to build courses. We have a course on how to do an audit, which is what we're doing right now. There's nothing I'm doing right now that we've not done thousands of times, in case you're wondering, right? This is like not a surprise. And the digital plumbing, which hopefully we can cover today, which is the tracking and whatnot like that. There's a whole course around that. It's a full-on course with a certification. The VAs go through it. It's not some theoretical thing. It's a very tactical checklist, SOP kind of thing. Okay. Same thing with the other day, right? There's a surprising amount of information in here to get done. Okay. So everyone has a role in this content factory, either as at the owner, architect kind of blueprint level, like you, Todd, and us here, at the manager level, like managing all the workers, like Debbie, and then there's all the workers in the factory, right? In any kind of factory, it doesn't matter if you're making, Teslas or potato chips. You have workers, you have managers, and you have the strategy level. So all of our stuff is organized by those different categories. Fair enough, right?
Yes.
Like you, Kim, you and Todd, as the business owners, you need to be aware that certain things have to happen in content marketing, but you're not hammering every single shingle in the house, or you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And then Debbie, because how many people do you have, Debbie, to do marketing? I don't think you have any, right? I think you said just one person agency that you hired 8 years ago or something you said. What was it?
So the agency that I talked to you about at dinner has a couple people, and they're going to do whatever they're doing, and that's fine. Okay. Debbie, I know you've worked with VAs before, but so I don't want to answer that question for you.
Are you, Debbie, with the idea of you manage it and the initial tasks, you do a couple of them yourself first, just so you understand how it works. And then you can type the VAs and manage the VAs according to it and hold them accountable because you've actually done a couple of the tasks yourself first.
Right. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
No problem.
So Debbie's going to pretend to be a VA and go through some of these tasks, like how to break down content into smaller pieces through repurposing, which is kind of what we're talking about today, right? And like a micro course is made for VAs. My micro courses are sort of like the 101 VA level execution stuff that can be done over and over again. Okay. So when we do a search, can I borrow against life insurance, or how much can I borrow? We sort of rank on that. As you saw, we're like 30 results down.
Right.
And there's ads and whatnot. And we can run ads too. The agency could run ads if the ROI we think is worth it, $6 a click or whatever. But on that page, can you borrow against life insurance? We will either also embed these answers too, because we want to show Google that we have a comprehensive, like we're actually answering the question thoroughly. If it's a big enough topic, then these will be separate pages that we then link to. And then the pages link between each other, kind of like these clusters by topics. If you can imagine, like a word cloud is kind of what we're doing here. Right?
Got it. Yep.
Okay. And you'll see like these other guys, like here's Market Watch. Some of these are authoritative enough that they even have their own basic mini PAAs here. How long does it take to borrow against life insurance? How much money can I borrow from my life insurance? Because their authority is high enough and they have related keywords. They rank on 4.9 million keywords. I would like to take some of those keywords away from them. And these other guys that talk about finance, these are all the sort of, normal suspects that we would imagine, right?
Right. So
it's really just, let's look at these terms that we're already within striking distance on.
Got it.
And, so here we're searching on volume, but let's look at what's driving us the most traffic, which isn't necessarily the best. So, and of course, we'll see slightly different numbers by looking at Search Console, right? And you're cool, Debbie, with Search Console, right? Okay, yeah. Cool. And Debbie, you're cool with everything we're talking about so far? It's just, you haven't said anything. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're talking about.
Okay, good. How to use life insurance? Well, we are in position 4. If we can move from position 4 to position 3, 2, or 1, that would probably that was probably 5x our traffic. Okay.
Wow.
So there's 500 people a month that are searching on this. And there's other ones that are sort of kind of related to that. You can see.
Yep.
But we're getting 47 of that. So we're getting 10% of that in position 4. Mm-hmm. If we're in position 1, we will probably get 40%, something, position 2, like 20 to 25%, right? And look, you can see here, how to make money with life insurance. We slipped from 1 to 3. So now we have only 43. We've lost 89. We used to have 130 of the 350. So we used to have a third of all those people. Okay. And so you can see this is like a glass is half full kind of thing. There's so much opportunity. There's never any problems, Kim. There's only opportunities. And I see a lot of opportunities here. This makes me so happy. Yes. Okay. So there's several reasons why these things slip. The easiest one to fix is that, so this one that we know already kind of ranks, but there's things we need to do to improve the content so that users stay longer, which also sends a good signal to Google because Google sees how long people stay on the webpage, right? Even if you don't have Google Analytics, but we want Google Analytics there, which you do. You have your tag manager. Good job, Debbie, or whoever did that. And so on this page, look at this. So this of your 12 or 13,000 keywords, this is one of your most powerful pages because it ranks on 385 keywords of your 13,000. So it's like 2%, right? And this page has a power of 3, but the domain has a power of 41. Now you might think that sounds okay, but you know that domain rating is on a log scale. So every 10 points higher is 10 times more powerful.
Okay.
So a 3 to a 13 to a 23, it's 10 times 10 times 10, this is basically almost 4 orders of magnitude. And that's because there's only 17 links to this page. So if we have other pages that are topical, that actually are relevant to this, we need to link to them. And because this is WordPress, and I think you're using HubSpot.
Yes.
There's a plugin that we have bought an enterprise license for, which we'll give you, unless you just want to pay the $1,000, called Link Whisper. That's an AI tool that automatically looks across all the different pages and suggests where you should link between them.
That would be delightful.
It's like cheating. It is not black hat because it is existing. These are existing pages we already have. We're not like black hat spamming people on keywords and just willy-nilly, linking between things to try to force the juice to this page, right? It's not like, because SEO is really about voting, right? And the voting is the quality of the votes and the power of the votes and where the votes come from and, that kind of thing. So here's the links that we have, but where are the internal links? Where are they? And if I look at these other articles, if this page has got a lot of juice, where are the other links that we can link out to that are related? So when we're talking about, emergency fund or taxes, or I'm not saying link on everything, but
right.
There's a lot of things. So if people want to go deeper into one of these topics, we should like a PUA. We should link probably here on paid up editions. We should link to everything on paid up editions because not because we're trying to SEO our way and fool Google and pass juice, but because it's probably useful because someone like me has no idea what a PUA is.
Yep.
So, you could call it SEO, but it's really usability, what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's a good word.
So this is where Miss Debbie manages a VA who understands how to do these things. They're not hard to do. It doesn't require someone senior, but they must, in my humble opinion, fully drink and breathe and live prosperity thinkers.
Yes.
They cannot be working at an agency on 10 other clients, which is what happens. Because the guy pretends, he tells all 10 of his girlfriends that he loves them all equally. No, they need to have, one man, one wife. And you have a VA who knows your content really well, knows the podcast, knows just the relationships, the topics, all of it. So that as they're going through this and they're using different tools like a link whisper and a rank math and whatnot, that they understand, oh, yeah. I can link from here to there. Or, oh, Kim talked about this one in episode 59 or whatever it is. And they need to know this is a lot of content you have. Holy crap, there's a lot here, right?
A lot.
They need to know. Now, the AI tool is pretty smart about it. So I could say, what would Kim Butler say about how much I can borrow against my whole life policy? Okay. See, now you see how this works, right? So we could enlist fake Kim, virtual Kim, to answer these questions. And then I could just literally be a little nicer and say, pretend you're Kim Butler and I'm interviewing you for a podcast. Include references to where possible. And we were doing a search on which life insurance why do people borrow against life insurance? Okay, sure. I'm being a VA right now, just for a moment.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Welcome back to the show, listeners. Today, we're thrilled to have blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, shoot. No, it's actually pretending to do the podcast. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the host and you're Kim. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay. Now, if the thing doesn't give us the thing we want, it's actually my fault because I didn't give it the proper instructions. Okay. Respond as Kim, please. I will interview you. You know what? It's never it's never the robot is the idiot. It's always me. So this is me. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and ask the question.
My husband likes to say there's a short between the keyboard and the seat.
That's where the bug is. Yeah. Between the keyboard and the chair. Yeah. There we go. Now we have the actual real Kim right now with us. So real Kim, does virtual Kim give a decent answer here?
Good so far, with one exception. The control is incorrect. You are not paying interest to yourself.
Okay. Well, you're wrong on number 5, since you're not paying interest to yourself.
You're paying it to the life insurance company. Much better.
Okay. See, now this is where the AI only gets us 95% of the way there, right?
Sure.
Okay. So now, Kim, now what I'm doing is I'm gradually layering on complexity. It's sort of like our Socratic method, which I think is the most powerful way to teach something.
Great.
So far, just to recap, we talked about SEO is answering the questions that people want and the related sorts of questions. So that you're going to film them as videos for them to be repurposed into multiple different formats. Those then get turned into articles or enhance existing articles inside your WordPress from related articles that we have and new articles. We link between them on different sorts of topics. Of the videos that we make, that we transcribe through Descript, we run those transcriptions through the AI to be able to enhance them into better sounding articles and then kind of repeat the process, which is combining real content of what you've said and then enhancing it with the AI. So it's not synthetic content, which is purely fake content, auto-generated content,
right.
But it still has a taste of Kim Butler in here. And then that goes across all your socials. And the same is true with the repurposing of the content that you've already made. So of all these podcasts, which are a ton, we believe they all should be run through Descript, just like Caleb's. Did I show you what we did for Caleb?
No.
This is very impressive, and it was a lot of work. So
we have Descript, and we know one little tiny bit of it, but I would love to know more about this. I
showed him Descript a year ago, and his video team resisted me because they like Premiere and After Effects and all that. I get it if you're a professional video person, but professional cinema Hollywood people are using Descript now too, because it can do things that you can't do because of all the AI stuff. For example, we took hundreds of his videos here, then we put them into Descript.
Okay.
why Dave Ramsey is wrong about whatever it is. Then whoever the featured speaker is, we tag that speaker in the snippets that we pulled out of those videos, because you can make social media little snippets and all that. So we rank on their name, which is great. So why not rank on Dave Ramsey, right? That's a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
And then we turn them into articles and we turn them into all this other kind of stuff. And then we link between the articles and then we run $1 a day against it, which helps us with our SEO because Google sees that we are getting traffic and engagement. If the site has no links, this has been relatively new in the last 2 years. If a site has no links, so technically, I guess no SEO power, because links is like 80% of the power of SEO, but it's getting a lot of traffic. Who cares where the traffic's coming from? Could be email, could be billboards, it could be $1 a day from YouTube ads or Facebook. I don't care. We're driving traffic and Google sees it through Google Analytics and people are engaging because they like the content and they're staying on the site. That alone is enough to help us move up a lot in the rankings on difficult keywords.
Okay.
So if that page has not just the text, this long text answer, like this other thing here, I'm not saying the answer is bad. This is hard to read on a phone, by the way.
Understood.
But if we have these video components, and it's just going to be a richer experience, then here, I'll just look at it on a iPhone 12. I mean, this is okay, I guess. But let's see. Am I going to nail you on your payload being too big? Yes, I am. 15 megabytes. Told you. Yes, a lot of it to the cache, but 118 GET requests. All right, let's just see. All right, so Kim, guess a number between 1 and 100 on what your page speed insights is. According to Google, you get 2 scores, mobile score, and you get a survey set, as Alex Trebek. No, who is it that says survey says? What's the TV show?
I don't watch any TV. My number's 77.
77. I'm going to guess 42 and 70.
Debbie had a guess too.
What's your guess, Debbie?
I was trying to come up with who said that. So I know it's not super good. Definitely could be better.
Not Jeopardy. It's not freaking Pat Sajak. Didn't Pat Sajak retire from Wheel of Fortune, right? He retired.
Is that Family Feud?
Yeah, Family Feud, where you have to guess the top 10 things that people do in bed or something. Okay, so 31 is your mobile performance score. And here's why. Because your stuff's too big and it's too slow. You got too much JavaScript. And this is the timeline you can see. This JavaScript is murdering you.
Okay.
And you can see exactly how to fix it. All this, too many plugins, all kinds of bloat.
Yeah.
HubSpot, whatever. CDNs will help you. And your desktop score will probably be a little bit better. So you even failed Core Web Vitals. So agency person, if you're in charge of the website, shame on you. This is Google's tool. You can't argue this. And I'm right.
Yeah,
Desktop, you're a little better, right? Because most people they're connected to their home, high-speed internet at home. But most of our traffic is coming out of, not as much as I would have thought. It's coming out of mobile. So I accidentally put this in another profile. It drives me nuts. I think it's under tech and mobile, or is it user? Where it lives, mobile. Okay, yeah. See, so we have almost twice as many people that are coming from the phone as on desktop.
Wow,
that's interesting.
So most web designers, they have these huge screens. They design for big screens, but you need to be designing for the phone first. Okay, people are coming from the phone.
Yeah.
So your user experience on the phone. By the way, this will make a huge impact on your SEO. Who's going to hang out for 8 seconds for a page to load?
Yeah.
Just no bueno.
Yeah. And that may not be the current agency's fault, but it doesn't matter. We'll work to get it fixed. As long as somebody knows what to do about this, then we'll do it.
And we have people who can help you fix it too, or you can fix it. Google literally is telling you what's broken right here. They're telling you, look, they told you what to fix here. It's right here.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not telling you anything you can't find in 3 seconds yourself.
Okay.
This is probably the easiest, lowest hanging fruit thing you can do.
Okay.
Because it's just impossible to argue. It's better for the user experience. Google will like it. It's just, they run the report again, ideally 95 plus, but whatever. I know when you're locked into certain frameworks that there's only certain things that you can do, like with HubSpot, but we get a ton of HubSpot sites that we can get over 90.
Awesome.
Yeah. So whoever your website person is, have a little talking to them, especially if you're paying them an ongoing monthly fee. Or I think Todd said did you tell me like you're paying some guy, but not very much money just for like maintenance or something? So I'm not trying to bash your web guy, but come on now, you can do better than that. Yeah. So there's a lot more we can talk about, but I just, that's what I saw based on what you gave us.
Okay.
I think the Content Factory would work very, very well for you. I would love to see the feedback that your agency has, and maybe also what Debbie has to say about this. And anywhere where you need our help, I'm here for you. And Caleb's a good friend of mine. So he told me to do whatever to help out Kim and Todd. So I'm at your service.
Well, that is so kind of both him and you. And I'm very, very grateful. Debbie, do you have any questions at this point?
No, I would love to get access to the tools you talked about, but that's not really a question. So,
and yeah, any demands you'd like to make, we're happy to satisfy those too.
Well, I'm always down for learning more things. I mean, I'm always trying to learn new things. So,
okay.
And
so
SEO
tool, there's different tools. I think Link Whisper, Rank Math.
I have Rank Math. Yeah, I have Rank Math. Sorry. Okay. I see that we have Link Whisper on Prosperity Thinkers, but I don't know. I didn't put it on, and it's not actually licensed correctly. So I don't think it's actually working.
Okay.
But
we know how to configure it too, if you like.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then the SEO tool, do you have a particular SEO tool that you like more than others?
Right now, I use Patel's and I use Rank Math. I used to get SEMrush, but I don't pay for it anymore. So.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm on the advisory board of SEMrush.
Sweet.
I think
it's expensive.
Austin might use them. I don't remember them.
Yeah.
I think they might be using them. I'm not 100% sure. So
I find for auditing, and I've told the SEMrush people this many times, that auditing, like what we're doing today, is faster and easier with the browser plugin, with Ahrefs, even though it is true that SEMrush does have a bigger index and they are close to real time and they are more accurate. But I trade speed for accuracy when it comes to this.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll add you to that too.
Okay. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
So what should our next steps be? Like, I know I need to do video. What one thing, and just, you can speak directly to Debbie and we'll figure out whether it's actually Debbie or whether it's getting Austin's help. And I believe that we'll need some of your VA's help. So can you give me like 3 specific things we should be doing next?
I think the first thing is you should sign up for our $1 a day coaching program, where like you get access to all these tools, all the training, all that, but then you get help from our people, our VAs, people like Jacob, me, other folks, to kind of help you along the way. Because a lot of people are like, I'm trying to implement Tag Manager and the conversion pixel isn't firing properly. Can you, like, okay, we'll help you. Right. And so there's a 6-phase process that we go through to make sure that, I mean, if you're a DIY, assemble your IKEA furniture, you could go through all the checklists yourself. Like, we publish everything, right? You can see it's all there. But some people just like to have a little bit of help and save the pain and get there faster.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have a busy team. Debbie's working on other projects for us. She's got her own clients as well. I like speed without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased, but we built this program and we've been doing this for quite some time. So we know what the most common issues are. So this is the one it's at. It's blitzmetrics.com/dad.
Yep.
It's $2,500 for 6 weeks.
Okay. I remember looking at this and I don't know that I found the price. So thank you for stating it specifically. Yep. I would like to go ahead and do that, and I'll make that happen on the web. And then do I need to do it twice, one for me and one for Todd, or is there a chance we can lump them together? It's totally fine if we cannot.
We like to do it per business.
Got it. I fully understand.
What I can do is like a special where you get more access to Dennis.
I like that. I'll take the same $2,500 and more value. I'm in.
We have a $20,000 program, which is the one Caleb bought from us.
Okay.
Which you're getting a taste of right now.
I believe that. Yeah. And that's too big of a step for us right yet, but I will totally do 2 $2,500s.
So I think we do that. And then, I mean, you're making what? 6K on average per whole life policy you sell.
Correct.
So all we have to do is sell just a few more.
I get it.
A couple more per month.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can do that math on my little calculator. I don't even need truth concepts.
That's so funny. Yeah. So let's do that. And then let us know when Todd's around, and let's do one covering truth concepts. And then maybe Debbie, you've got access to all those other components as well. So you can go through the whole access checklist analytics, and we can do some analysis on that as a different business model.
So truth concepts, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Would you like me to do any of what I worked on today for Todd or with Todd, or do you have enough already between what Debbie's going to do and whatever else you've done?
We have enough to get some of the things we need to get going here, as I'm assuming Debbie is going to be sort of our main point of contact, operations, get it done person like we talked about.
Yep.
So Debbie, you're going to give us access to some kind of Google Drive or Dropbox that has these 1-minute videos in it. Yeah.
Can do that. Yes.
Okay. Do you have video editors or content people? You said you had Descript. So do you have people who can actually process these videos the right way?
That's been me so far.
Okay. Well,
and I'm relatively new to Descript. So
would you like us to process them for you initially? Okay.
That's a yes.
So we'll, as part of the program, we will process these for you, not an extra charge, but the asterisk is that because Kim is continuing to produce content, I believe it economically makes sense that within the first 6 weeks, we help you hire your own full-time VA, and you pay them between $500 and $1,000, and then they become mini Debbie.
Yep.
And mini Debbie also, maybe we get 2 mini Debbies.
Yep.
And then Debbie can just keep, the more she knows how to do, the more is documented, the more she can pass off to her VAs.
Yep.
Because if you have no one to pass it off to, if you don't have a VA, Debbie, who's the VA?
I am.
Yes.
Yep.
Recently, in my experience, I will mention, just add, Debbie, it does help to document everything as you do it. If you keep a checklist or something as you do it, and it just makes it so much easier explaining it to somebody else.
Yeah,
literally just like a loom as you're doing stuff, and then they can go back and watch it. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be organized. You make them have to put it into the checklist and repeatable, and then they have to teach the next VA.
Yes, I am a bit of a freak about that. I'm
good.
very organized.
We're going to get on super well. Okay. So we'll edit the first set of videos with our VAs, but we're also going to try to hire you your own VA that you're going to pay directly. So you're just going to PayPal them. And there's a whole process on how to manage a VA. And then Jacob can help you with that. We even have a course on how to hire a VA, as you can imagine. Yeah. And everything that we do initially as we're building this foundation together is fully owned by you.
Thank you.
Fully run by you. So that at any point in time, if you decide you don't want to work with us anymore, which is fine, or, whatever, that's awesome, right? We want to see that because that's creating jobs.
Yep.
And we're seeing ROI on this. And another thing I mentioned, you asked, what are the next steps? So as we get these 1-minute videos, we're also going to set up a contributor account for you, Kim, and probably also for Todd. So we have this relationship with this company, Market Scale. It's a very special deal that we got. It's like having a contributor account on Forbes or Inc. or these other sorts of places. And this is a DR74. So this establishes you as this is like the home of B2B expertise, basically.
Got it.
So we're going to create a profile for you. Look, there's me and Caleb speaking in Florida.
Yes, I ran across this today in my work.
Oh, what do you mean? Market Scale?
Yes. I don't know. I looked at something, clicked on something, somehow it came up.
Okay. So you can see there's all this kind of stuff that happens, right? So and this is good for SEO. And then we have a whole press release distribution where as you produce videos that we turn into articles with the AI, Miss Debbie will help do the first few with us together. So we all understand how it's done. And then the VAs do it. Then we're going to promote them, which is going to help us from kind of an SEO standpoint by creating these signals, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, which in the search engine world, they're called citations. And we have another super duper special secret relationship at a company called Q Promote, which distributes all this stuff through Buffer. Buffer is the number one most popular social sharing platform, like social media management kind of stuff. So we push our stuff into there to get social shares.
Okay.
I think you'll like that too. When as the content starts flowing through the 4 stages of this content factory, you'll see some of the special things that we're going to do here in stage 4, which is $1 a day and promotion and amplify, just many ways of amplifying the thing that's been published.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so I have a question on the 100 or so videos. I trust Debbie knows where to get those questions, right?
Well, what does Debbie think?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're taking, based on your example, what was it? It's late in the day for me.
Well, it's
basically
things that are good that we want more of, right?
Right. So similar questions.
Let's look at Search Console. Let's, HubSpot has the ability to look at marketing referrals, like anything that's good, like, and good in many ways, not just keywords. Like maybe there's content with you and Caleb on the podcast. Maybe there's like just whatever content, whatever has done well for you in the business. We want to get more of that, amplify more of, make the good thing better, right? That's all this whole thing that we're doing is.
Right. That's subjective though, right? Kind of?
No, it could be based on sales, based on leads, based on traffic, based on.
Okay. We just need to set whatever metric we want to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And the last thing I'll mention is we have weekly coaching, which I think Debbie, you or somebody should attend. You don't have to go every week. It's not like this obligation to add to your calendar, but if you want to be in the hot seat, or if you want to ask a question, you want to share an example, maybe you've boosted some posts, maybe whatever, you can bring it there. Cool. And there are a lot of other Debbies and Kims that come every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. Yeah, I would be interested. Like I said, I'm always learning.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, you should come, and that way you can be the eyes and ears of Kim and represent everything back. That way Kim never has to wander outside of box number 1.
And if you have any issues or anything in that as well, you can represent those issues in the meetings, because a lot of different clients, they'll share their examples. So that way we can kind of work through errors and answer questions, things like that in that time.
Yeah. Jacob, you should put your cell number here so then these ladies can text you.
Sure.
To show that you're a human and you're not an AI bot, that you actually can eat food, although some robots can now eat food convincingly.
How I feel about that.
Very much human. Yeah. Very much.
Text him so you guys can establish that connection.
Okay. So I have just 2 questions.
Okay.
Do I do the 100 answers in one big video, or do you need me to like stop or pause the camera?
Oh, okay. You ask it. Okay. So I say jokingly 100 videos because you technically could, but we find that most people at about 45 minutes, their energy level starts to go down in podcasts or whatnot. So I recommend just doing 20 at a time and just answer a question at a time, and then pause for a few seconds and then just go straight into the other. But don't cut the videos into separate videos. Just do it as one long block. Then it's easier for our people to process that thing.
Okay.
We're going to be editing it anyway, so you don't need to make separate files that we then, because we're going to add in the headers and lower thirds and audio and all that kind of stuff.
So cool. Okay. And then what about knowledge panels? I loved those when you showed them to me.
Yes. So I believe, I can't make a promise, but I'm reasonably confident that based on the authority that we have on your main site, that we should be able to trigger a knowledge panel. We just need to tie in your personal domain, which I don't see ranking.
I don't think I have one.
Okay. Well, see, is there another Kim Butler? Is that taken?
I always thought that was the most egotistical thing in the world, and so I never did it.
What's funny is that I've been on Dennis-U for the last 17 years. And just last month, because some dude bought it, I don't know, whatever, 10 years ago. And I was like, whatever, I'm not going to buy my name. That's such a vanity thing. I'm just a search engine engineer. I make money behind the screen, and I'm not here to promote myself. But some dude bought it when I was kind of on the way up, right? And then he tried to extort me for some ridiculous amount of money.
That's crazy.
And because it's just, the only person who would care about it is either me or that other guy who's a Hong Kong film director named Dennis-U, or this other dude who would only pay a couple $1,000s because he's not there's no reason why any of those other people would pay that kind of money for the name, right?
Yeah. So what if we get Kim DH Butler?
I think we must have it because it just redirected to Prosperity Thinker.
Okay, good.
So we must have it. Cool.
So
we must have it.
We're going to set you up inside Basecamp, which is our project management system. And then we're going to give you CNAME to point that domain to, so then we can install WordPress and do our whole thing as part of this, not an additional charge or whatever. We'll build out a personal brand website for you, Kim. It's not going to be some magnificent, like, it's not ugly, but it's not beautiful either. The job of it is to do SEO to trigger a knowledge panel. That's why we're doing this.
Got it.
And later you may have like, oh, I don't like this color blue or whatever. Like, okay, well, we can maybe fix that later, but that's not the point of it. Okay.
I'm clear.
Okay.
Debbie, can you make sure we have toddlingford.com so when the time is right, they can do that for him as well?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. So I will do all that I'm supposed to do. If somebody will get me 20 questions, I was going to record a whole. So Debbie, please, if you can, if you followed well enough, and I'm not sure I did, so I'm not sure I could do it. But I will totally do 20 questions tomorrow or Saturday. Todd and I it's wicked hot in Texas. We're in for the weekend. We don't have family or stuff going on. I want to make a whole bunch of video. I have a crazy level of energy, Dennis. So I might surprise you on the 20 and do 40.
Good. All right.
I hear you.
That's what we like to hear.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. And I totally am super happy Debbie's in. And I know that Austin will be in. Like I said, he's a young kid and he's learning and he'll just run with what we need to do. And if we need to shift some dollars around, then we'll do that.
And if he wants to come to office hours too, he should come.
Oh, beautiful. Excellent. I'm sure either he will, or maybe one of his people will. That'd be great. And then I want to do a knowledge panel for Todd. And Dennis, how would you like us to get scheduled for the Truth Concepts time?
I think, did I give you a link to schedule before, or we want to just pick a time now, or do you have Todd's calendar, or
I do. And he'll listen in, but it will be mostly me and Debbie. Todd does Todd. So
the engineer math brain. Okay.
Yeah, I got my calendar and his. So just tell me what works.
Well, if you want to do tomorrow afternoon at 2 Pacific, so 4 Central.
I do.
Okay.
Debbie, does that work for you?
2 Pacific.
Yeah, so 4 Central.
That works.
Debbie's in Washington State, so she is on Pacific.
Okay.
Todd and I are in Texas, so we're Central, and I am saying Dennis and team at 4 Central, 2 Pacific. And Dennis, do you want to send the Zoom link?
Yes, I'm going to send the Zoom link right now in the chat. There it is.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. I will have Todd join. That's blocked out. Let me grab this link. Okay. Anything else we need to cover?
Do you feel like we have clarity?
I do. Debbie.
Especially Debbie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, good.
But one of the boys had something.
When you guys had a question?
I'm sorry? It's pretty clear. I've gone through the program. It's fantastic.
See, there we go. An unpaid testimonial.
Tim, if you want, I can go ahead and create a list of 20 questions or 30 questions and shoot them over to you. And you can just pick what you like. Not all of them are going to be good ones, but pick what you think is going to work. And I'll definitely do my research on the back end to make sure that they are somewhat aligning with what we talked about.
Heaven, thank you. That'd be fabulous.
Just to get things rolling, at least, so we can start getting something going this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if your answer is longer than a minute, or as you're answering a question, you come up with some other idea, feel free to go into that, right?
Got it.
Because you're the expert on that.
Okay. And I'm going to do the recording just like this, right?
This is great. What is that, a Rode mic? What do you have there as the microphone? It seems sort of far away from you.
I typically do a little better.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. And I will look right at the camera and the mic right there. But somebody told me like up, down, sideways, whatever. I'm not using my phone. I will use, I think I use Logitech's recording thing for that camera. Is that okay?
It's okay. I mean, if you want to upgrade it one level, you get like a Sony ZV-E10, which is only $800.
I probably won't do that right yet.
Okay. You know what? You're great as you are right now. And if it's too fancy, people are going to start to wonder.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I don't do fancy.
Cool. So I just put the link in blitzmetrics.com/dad.
Yes. I will go there and I will buy 2.
Yep.
You'll see 2 different names, 2 different credit cards. So yeah, got you covered.
Okay.
I am good. I'm still fighting with the Zoom link, but I have everything I need. Thank you guys so much for taking the extra time. Debbie, thanks also. Really, really looking forward to working with you all.